GamerCast Network.
Hey. All right. It's a video game show. It's a video game show. It's not a game show about videos. It's a video game show.
Welcome to the GamerCast Network video game show for Sunday, January 20th, 2008. I'm Chad, this is episode number 73, and this week for the roll call, when I say your name, let me lay a situation out there for you. Say you're on a deserted island, and on said island, there was an evil creature, and you're on the island as well. If you had to defeat this creature, what weapon from a game would you want to use? And joining us this evening is Phil.
I'm going to throw Phil at it and then run like hell.
I don't make a very good weapon, Tom, but
You just need to slow it down.
I'd say either the BFG from Doom or the Redeemer from UT.
The BFG, I never understood that gun. Wouldn't it kill you as well when you use it? Doesn't it like evaporate everything in an area or something like that?
Just saying, it seems a little dangerous. I don't. You could probably get away with, like, a sharpened stick. That's just saying.
And also joining us this evening is Tom.
I need a tube. I need some charcoal.
for
I need a
God's
rock. Anyone see where I'm going with this? That was a Star Trek reference. Chad, at least you know the episode of Star Trek I'm talking about. The one where Kirk is on the island.
No, I don't. No, I don't. I have no idea what you're talking about.
He had like a bamboo stick and he had a rock.
Well, I'm gonna go.
See, you drove Bob away. And
And then I changed my answer to 2 9mm, a long leather jacket, and a really good soundtrack.
What the hell was that all about, Bob?
He started talking about Star Trek. I didn't want to be involved.
I changed my answer. While you were gone, I gave a new answer. New answer was much better.
Ivan, would I like to know the new answer?
You'd be apathetic to the new answer.
Next on the list is Ivan.
I'm going to have my trusty M16 with full metal jacket rounds and a compound bow and arrow with explosive tips. That's all you need. Oh, and a big honking knife.
And finally joining us this evening is Bob.
I'm gonna take the drumstick from Rock Band and sharpen it to a point, stab it in his throat, break it off, and then be like, "You got the beat."
Oh my god!
Seriously, though,
and you're gonna get a horrible infection, and it's gonna take weeks for you to finally die.
It's been revoked. Seriously, though, I'm going to take the helicopter thing from Unreal Tournament 2003 and then fly away. No ticket!
What is wrong with you people today?
I don't know.
Well, if there's an evil creature on the island, I'm just going to assume I'm going to die anyway. I'll just take like a wooden stick and try and hit him, and if it doesn't work, I'll just give up and let him kill me.
Way to go. It's the kind of go get him attitude I like to hear.
I'm not going to pretend to be no Marine here. I'm going to accept my fate.
You're not even going to call Keith and have him punch him in the throat? Or Obey? Obey would probably do that for you.
It's a deserted island. I have to fly them in.
And if you're going to fly them in, why not just get on the vehicle that flew them in?
You've been erased.
You're one ugly mother.
Yep, one of those nights. Okay.
Next topic.
This week on the GamerCast Network. On Sarcastic Gamer, Doc confesses his newfound love for the PS3, and the SarcasticGamer.com podcast is now available 2 times a week. Tune in for details. This week's Uncle Gamer Radio talks about the return of Bionic Commando, Star Trek's online woes, and Super Smash Bros. Brawl's perfect score on Famitsu. On Gamertag Radio, episode number 130, staff member Cyber Athlete interviews the developers of Command & Conquer 3, Kane's Wrath, for the Xbox 360 and PC. Go to Podtacular for all the news from the unofficial Halo universe. On Achievement Junkie, check in with Nelson and Natalie as they help you take your gamer score to the next level. Discover the website that brings you all these great episodes and headlines at GamerCastNetwork.com.
Next topic.
We all know that Xbox Live has been having issues. It was worse around Christmas, and then it's cleared up a bit, but there are still some people having problems.
Just today, I was playing Blue Dragon. Some people invited me to play Call of Duty, so I tried to switch over, and when I switched over, it said that I wasn't logged in. So I logged in, tried to log in, I should say, and it just sat there and spun and spun and spun and spun. Finally, it connected after like 10 minutes.
So in response to all these things, a couple weeks ago, Microsoft had promised they would give away a free Xbox Live Arcade game to all the gold and silver account subscribers. A few days ago, they revealed the game, and it actually isn't a game that's coming out. It's a game that has already come out 2 months ago, and it's called Undertow. I have never even played it.
It's a two-stick shooter where the left stick moves your guy around and the right stick shoots full 360 degrees, just like Geometry Wars. You're tiny little scuba diver type guys. It's completely underwater, and the point of the game is to shoot other little tiny scuba diver guys while taking over bases. It's not a horrible game. One of the complaints I heard was it's virtually unplayable on a standard definition TV. Even on my 40-inch LCD, the guys are 1/4 of an inch tall. They're very, very small.
One of the issues I've heard with this, what about the people who have already purchased Undertow?
Well, my understanding is they can download it again for free.
Okay.
Basically, they don't get anything out of this. It's not that you have a choice in the matter. It's here's Undertow. If you don't have it and you want it, you're in luck. If you do have it, you're out of luck. Or if you don't want this particular game because you've played the demo 2 months ago and you didn't like it, again, you're out of luck. The whole game idea, I was saying at first, is kind of a bad idea. It's difficult for them to do a game that hasn't come out yet because what developer out there is going to be willing to give their game away for free? Maybe you'd get some publicity, but you're certainly not going to make any money.
I never understood, why couldn't they just give away points? Is there something against that? Is there some policy against that? I thought they gave away points at one time.
I don't have any inside information on this. If I had to guess, I would say that they're doing this because this is them showing that they're offering something, yet they know that the percentage of people who will actually take advantage of it are very small.
I guess that's that bit.
That's all you're getting out of them, apparently.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess most of us probably haven't been affected that much by this, apart from the occasional annoyance. And most of us here probably aren't all up in arms about this. Most of us here probably didn't even know they were getting something free, right? Bob?
I was aware. I was just like, what is... Oh, I don't care.
Yeah, see? Okay, so Phil, are you happy with this Undertow?
I mean, it's something. I'm sure it's not what other people probably had in mind. I'm kind of with some of the other people that said, hey, you know, a few hundred points would probably be cool.
I was affected. There's a couple days when I actually took the entire week of Christmas off, and there's a couple of days where I couldn't play anything online, which was kind of annoying. You know, I wasn't so upset that I took to the internets to scream bloody murder, but it was very annoying. Offering something as a peace offering would have been a good idea.
It did affect me too. Had my not even a week, I had like 5 days to play video games. You know, it was Christmas break. I was home for a while, finally got back, could sit down, just enjoy myself and relax, and then I couldn't log on to live and had problems and all this nonsense. But I think I'm such an old school, laid back PC gamer. I'm just used to that everybody's home. Everybody tries to play and all the services die. So when it happened, I wasn't surprised. And I was just like, well, you know, that just happened. I was surprised they gave us anything. But it's almost like I'd rather they wouldn't have, because now, like, if this happens again, people are going to expect it. And so you don't want to train them to do that because it's the internet. It fails all the time. So you see, I think people are expecting too much from Microsoft when I know that the products they give out, you know, normally cease to function for no good reason. I mean, I've had Windows for the past decade and a half. It breaks all the time. I didn't expect anything more. I mean, my damn CD drive on my Xbox dies constantly. That's how I know when to stop playing Rock Band, because it tells me. It's like, you're done right now, because I'm going to stop spinning for no good reason, because your disk is unreadable. I realize when I buy a product from Microsoft, it's probably not going to work that well. So when it doesn't, I'm not shocked and I don't get pissed, because when spending the money initially, that is the product I knew I was buying.
Wow, I don't know why, but that makes perfect sense.
I'm not mad when it doesn't work because I fully expect it not to every single time I turn it on. So when it does, I'm surprised and happy.
We've seen this stuff many, many times over the past 15, 20 years. Now we're getting people who just haven't seen it. They've always assumed that things would just work when they push play, when they push go.
I program things and my things break constantly. I expect no more, no less from anybody else because it's very hard to write things that don't break. There's always something.
It's very hard to write a show that doesn't break, like this one is breaking. Yeah.
There you go. Like this one, right now.
Next topic.
Okay, video game deaths.
Yay!
Remember a very long time ago, we talked about some rival Lineage 2 clans in Russia. Some players from opposing clans got together and one beat the crap out of and killed a rival player. Well, apparently Russians really like Lineage 2 because the same thing happened again. Player by the name of Albert, part of this clan called the Platanium clan. In-game, he was fighting a rival clan called the Ku Klux.
Ku Klux Klan. That's very witty.
Hey, those Russians with their witty clan names, who knows? Well, I guess these two clans decided to meet in reality. And when they met in reality, only good things can ensue, and Albert here was killed.
How do we know that it's actually a bad thing, though?
I kind of agree. You name your clan the Ku Klux, I think you kind of need to be...
No. He wasn't part of the Ku Klux. He was part of the one
Whatever. He associated with him. He plays Lineage.
He met somebody he met online, right there. That's a sign that you don't deserve to keep going.
Wow. Okay, well, here...
Oh my god, somebody say something funny. What the hell is wrong with you? I put all these notes together. You have you all that, and then you just this is what I get. This is what I have to edit. Go yourselves. I'm gonna go get my stick and die by Island Monster.
I want to change my answer. I want a giant Pokemon when I'm on the island, and I throw the Pokemon at the monster.
Bulbasaur!
Squirtle! Squirtle! Squirtle!
Bulbasaur!
Say it or you'll get the gas.
One of the quick Russian video game death here was there was a 20-year-old who killed his grandmother because she asked him to come and eat while he was playing a video game.
Do not disturb the gamers when they're gaming.
She had
it should be obvious by now. Learned her lesson, that's all I'm saying.
How did he kill her?
It didn't say. I'm assuming since Russians seem to be beating people here to death, I'm assuming he beat her to death.
I just strangled her with his bare hands, left her crumpled on the ground, and was like, sorry, BRB.
Next topic.
Okay, another old story here coming back to us. Remember a long time ago we talked about a guarana-infused energy bar for gamers called Headshot.
A what infused?
Guarana. It's like a caffeine kind of thing.
It's like 6 times more potent than caffeine. That's what they put in that Balls energy drink.
As if gamers didn't have health problems as it
They're
is.
already off in their grandmothers.
Now there's a new company out of Germany which is developing this product called FPS Brain. These are now pills that you can take which are supposed to accelerate your neural processes, heighten your perception, and increase your concentration and reaction times. And it has a whole list of crap that's in it.
God.
It's got like glutamine, tyrosine, niacin, amide, selenium, folic acid, biotin, soy lecithin, caffeine.
I think this is a good idea. I think a good experiment would be going to like QuakeCon and just passing them out to all the participants and just see what happens. Just an experiment. Gamer psychology.
And don't tell them.
Suddenly it would become Lord of the Flies. And see, I tied it all back to an island thing. See what I did there?
Nice.
It's not
The first
a
few
tuba.
things on the list are just amino acids.
I don't know what the hell. L-glutamine helps you recover from working out. I really don't think they're going to need that.
To help develop the massive mouse forearm.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously you guys are looking at the list here. Is this just like a hyped up vitamin pill?
It'd be great to take before a workout, to tell you honestly, God, truth. All the B vitamins help in releasing energy, and the glutamine helps you not be sore the next day after lifting. The C and E are both antioxidants to clear out free radicals from your blood.
So is this just some company trying to capitalize on the competitive gaming scene?
I think so.
Maybe these particular specific vitamins, when combined together, actually do help brain
Maybe. Who knows?
cells fire. Yeah.
Yeah, you take them before your workout, and then suddenly you go to the work. Oh, never mind. That joke died before I was even thinking of it. I said abort.
Next topic.
How about new plans for more downloadable content from EA? First off, we know that Guitar Hero and Rock Band downloads have been very successful. Activision claims 5 million downloads for Guitar Hero 3. Rock Band hit 2.5 million downloads. There was an article which was talking about possible other avenues for music downloads for games. From the sound of this article, EA is thinking about, for their non-music games, like the EA Sports games, offering music downloads. Think of this as changing or updating the soundtracks to games. So like Madden has the whole soundtrack from the Flavor of the Month bands or whatever. So now, a couple months later, you can update those songs and get a whole new set of songs for your soundtrack.
Can't I already put songs on my 360 or computer or whatever the hell product I own and just turn off the in-game music and play any songs I want?
You used to be able to do that with the original Xbox. With the 360, I think it actually has to support the ability to turn on your personalized music.
What I remember on my
lame
old
thing.
Xbox was it would only play your selection of music that you copied to your Xbox during like the menu screens. It wouldn't actually play it like between plays during Madden. Kind of did it to some extent, but not how most people wanted it to play out.
Would anyone here ever even think about doing this?
Playing a EA Sport game or
Beyond EA Sports games, what if there was options to update soundtracks to other non-EA Sports games?
what would
No,
be great
never.
is if I could just play the music I already had on my hard drive while I was playing my video game. So what the hell game was I playing? Does Burnout let you do that?
Yes, Burnout does, I believe.
That was it. And that was
Which
the
is
one I
weird
was-
because that's an EA game.
That was an EA game before they saw how popular music downloads are.
how much money they could possibly make doing
Oh,
this.
yeah.
What annoys me is how many different ways are companies managing to get you to buy the same song over and over again. So you bought it on cassette, you bought it on CD, then you downloaded it from iTunes, then you downloaded it so you could play it in Rock Band. Now you're going to download it again so you can play it in Madden. It's like some songs people have bought 8 times.
Oh, I just saw in the Rock Band downloadable content, they ported over another Guitar Hero song, Number of the Beast. I'm like, well, why would I want to download that when I could just pop in freaking Guitar Hero and play it on there?
Because I don't own Guitar Hero.
And because you can play it with drums.
Right, and sing it. I only have one rhythm game. This is a non-issue. Again, it's like the whole Xbox Live thing. Everybody's bitching. Just like, I thought that's just how it worked. It stops every now and then.
Any other commentary at all?
Say hello to my little friend.
Oh my god. What is in the water today?
Next topic.
We all know here that multiplayer online gaming is very popular.
Really? I hadn't noticed.
Online stuff in general is really popular. You know, all the YouTube things, downloading demos, and all those kind of things. And right now, for most ISPs, most people like Time Warner, Comcast, when you go to sign up for those services, you know, you have unlimited bandwidth, supposedly. Well, it looks like Time Warner might be changing over to a new plan. What's happening here is that Time Warner is going to try out a plan where you don't get unlimited bandwidth per month. You are tiered. You either can have 5 gigabytes per month in transfers, 10, 20, or 40.
No.
That's weak.
No. It's always
Wow.
been. You don't touch that. That's just the way I download everything I possibly can for you.
Wow, that was a really good rant there. That was really crapped over by, obviously, bandwidth limitations.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say.
That they were listening in. But
I'm disappointed in myself for being continually surprised at the amount of greed that companies have. It's not bad enough that Time Warner is overcharging customers for both cable TV and broadband internet. Now they have to make even more money by charging you per megabyte downloaded. The same thing with cell phone companies. Cell phone companies make an absolute genocide killing on cell phone minutes. And yet, if you don't have specific plans that give you unlimited download time, they charge you per megabyte downloaded.
Do we think this plan will actually succeed? Will they just say, oh, it was a success, yes, we're going to do it?
What choice do we have? Sure, just go ahead and do it. Go ahead, Time Warner. Go ahead and do it. We have no choice.
And that's the other thing that infuriates me is cable companies essentially have a monopoly in every market that they're in. I have no choice over who I get my cable from. It's Time Warner or nothing.
Yeah.
Or it's Time Warner and DSL. And I don't have a home phone line, so I would have to pay for a monthly phone bill for a phone that I will never use and DSL. And DSL isn't even as good as cable.
Beyond blaming the companies wanting more money, should any blame be going to the power downloaders who are torrenting and pirating, if you will, all of the music and movies?
they're freedom fighters. They're fighting for freedom. Because everyone wants unlimited broadband. It's always been unlimited. I've never actually read the American Constitution, but I'm pretty sure it guarantees unlimited broadband.
It's in the Bill of Rights.
Next topic.
Phil, did you know there is a limit on the amount of money you can carry in World of Warcraft?
Oh, God, no. Please don't tell me that's
Oh, yes,
true.
yes, it's a signed integer.
It's assigned an integer. Okay, hang on. Let's not get too geeky here. So some people,
What is that, 2 to the 32nd? That's how much gold you can have?
2 to the 31st.
Oh, okay.
So some people in World of Warcraft found
If it's signed. If it's unsigned, it would be 2 to the 32nd.
That's right. I forgot. You lose a bit. Why is it signed?
Oh my god, shut up!
So here's what the story is. Some people who were playing World of Warcraft found that at a certain point while they were playing the game, they could no longer get money. people would try and give them money and they couldn't take it. And the amount of money they were carrying at the time was 214,748 gold, 36 silver, and 48 copper. And for all the geeky people out there, if you take that number and mash all those numbers together, and you can do that because 100 silver is 1 gold and 100 copper is 1 silver. So if you mash all those numbers together, you get 2,147,483,648. Copper,
Essentially.
yes, essentially. This actually doesn't make too much sense for the geeks out there because it ends in 48, and assigned integer is actually 2 to the 31st power minus 1. So it doesn't make total sense yet.
I love how all these geeky people out there are trying to figure this out, where some guy just picked a random number and typed it in and said, that's the limit.
You can only carry about 215,000 gold.
Wow, you are rich if you've got that much gold. What it sounds like they're doing is they've got one character that they have that just hoards all their gold. So they just send all the gold to this one character for, say, their guild bank. And every character gives that one character to hang on to that gold.
I don't play World of Warcraft. Give me relevant terms here in real money. If I had that much money, what the hell could I buy in World of Warcraft? Everything?
You can buy...
Touch of a real woman.
No.
I don't think it's that much.
Honestly, some of the elite items that drop in some of the bigger instances usually sell anywhere from 1,500 gold to 3,000 gold.
Oh, and if people are wondering, I guess, according to the latest US dollar to Warcraft gold exchange rate, established by the Chinese gold farmers out there, about 1,000 gold is $31 US. So if you had this much, it would sell for about $6,500.
Well, what sounds really cool is what Phil had said was that it sounds like, what do you call it, Phil, a guild banker or something? Essentially a person who everyone just gives their money to hold on to it. That would be just really cool to turn around and sell that in real life. And then
Later.
Yeah.
Just quit.
Send them pictures with your new bling. That'd be awesome.
I mean,
Ends up you
At that
can buy the
point-
touch of a real woman for that much. In fact, I got 2.
Next topic.
I have a fact or crap. Do we want to try it? There are 4 craps and 1 fact. Only one thing is true. Number 1. We know there is a new Japanese role-playing game coming out for the Xbox 360 very soon called Lost Odyssey. And Lost Odyssey is done by Hironobu Sakaguchi, who is the one who made Blue Dragon. This game has already come out in Japan in early December, and it was wildly popular. They had the Blue Dragon sales about a year earlier, and then this one just kind of built on that hype train. So Lost Odyssey came out in Japan, sold very well. Number 2, 2007 just came to a close, and it really wasn't a big year for video game movies. Not many came out, only a few. And in fact, the number 1 grossing video game movie was Hitman at about $40 million. Number 3, so we know there's a new Bionic Commando game coming out, and they're also retrofitting the old Bionic Commando 2D one to the Xbox Live Arcade. However, I was looking back over the old Bionic Commando, trivia nostalgia, and I found they actually wrote a Bionic Commando novel.
when the original came out?
When the original came out, there was a novel for Bionic Commando. And in the story, the Bionic Commando was named Jack Markson. The reason he has the bionic arm is because the ninjas came and took his arm.
Lost his arm by ninja.
I gotta tell you, if you're gonna lose an arm, that's a pretty cool way, that's a good story.
Yeah, I was going to say...
So there I was, fighting 50 ninjas, and all I lost was my arm.
Number 4, we all know that people like to get their power leveling done by the Chinese. The services out there to raise your guy 10, 15 levels. Well, since MMOs are getting more popular, and we all know that people are lazy, these services are starting to charge more nowadays. In fact, now the price has practically doubled. It used to cost about $3 per level, now it costs $6 per level. And finally, now we know that some people in the world experience motion sickness when they play a 3D game. One developer for Super Mario Galaxy believes that Westerners and Easterners have different tolerances for motion sickness from 3D games. He believes that Westerners are more susceptible to motion sickness from a 3D game. One of those is true, 4 are false. Okay, so, Ivan.
I don't believe the first one, Lost Odyssey, doing well in Japan because the Japanese have proven time and again that they hate us and our video game consoles and games. Bionic Commando, I don't remember there really being ninjas so much. Probably wrong, but don't remember ninjas so much. So, no to the ninjas. And if anything, Chinese people need to drop their prices because who actually really pays the Chinese people to level for them? I'm going to go with Hitman was a hit because I am always wrong with video game movies.
Next up, Bob.
Yeah, the leveling service has doubled. I think that's false because supply and demand. There's plenty of Chinese to level our guys, and more people are playing now, so it actually should have probably dropped. I'm going to choose to believe that the Bionic Commando lost his arm by ninja because that sounds made up, but I want it to be true.
Phil.
Hitman could not have been the #1 movie because Resident Evil released another movie last year. The ninjas in Bionic Commando seems a little too far-fetched.
Because the concept of Bionic Commando.
I mean, ninjas and...
Oh, come on, man. That's so 80s, though. They knew karate and cut off his arm with a katana.
No, I'm thinking that the ninja thing is more of a 2000, fad. I'm going to go with the Chinese MMO inflation, just because they can't have enough gold.
Okay, and finally, Tom.
I'm just going to say no to the Chinese MMO inflation only because, like, anything that gets popular on the internet, it just drives its value down. It's like eBay. As soon as everybody found it, it was like the value of everything just went through the floor. Fifth one, they had a game developer in Japan who thought that Westerners were more susceptible to motion sickness.
Yes.
See, that's a tempting one to choose because I just like the whole idea of some Japanese guy saying white people get sick looking at the computer screen. So I'm going to go with number 5.
Bob, you do really well at these, because you're right.
Really? Sweet!
That was how the novel explained him losing the arm, was by ninjas cutting it off.
Well, duh.
Number 1, Lost Odyssey did not do very well at all. It sold about half of what Blue Dragon sold. Phil is right. The Resident Evil one was the number 1 video game movie for 2007. Hitman was number 2. Power leveling, it's the other way around. It is getting cheaper. It used to be $6 per level, now it's $3 per level. And finally, no, the Easterners get more motion sick from 3D graphics than Westerners.
And actually, they never had kamikaze pilots. They were just pilots that got sick when they were flying.
They just sucked. And they totally played it off. Oh, no, dude, they did that on purpose. Yeah, that's how much we love our country. How much do you love yours?
Next topic.
Speaking of kamikaze, can I tell my story real quick? I was at the barber shop. One of the barbers said that he cuts hair for an older gentleman, and he had this scar on his forehead. He cut his hair a couple times and was kind of interested in the scar. And he's looking closer and closer, and he's like, man, that scar on his forehead looks like it's in the shape of a wristwatch. The next time the guy came in, he asked him, he said, I'm kind of interested. How did you get that scar? And he said, damn kamikaze pilot. I was in Pearl Harbor, and when they were freaking kamikazing us, we shot down the plane, and when it hit, the freaking wristwatch came flying at him, freaking molten hot, and stuck to his forehead. From the Japanese pilot.
A lot has to go wrong for that to happen.
Yeah. Wow.
I got another one. It's pretty much just as good. So the barber was talking to another old timer, and he noticed he had this wicked scar on his forearm. One day I asked him, he said, I'm kind of interested, how'd you get that scar on your arm? He's like, well, when I was back in Omaha, I heard a German on the other side of the door, and he stuck his bayonet through the door, and instead of, taking it to the face, I threw my arm up and blocked the bayonet, so the bayonet went into my arm, so then I took my M16 and unloaded a freaking clip in the guy through the door and killed him.
He was a time traveler, is what you're saying.
I was gonna say. Dude, that dude's nuts. He just did that with a butter knife before he showed up.
I'm guessing he meant machine gun, Thompson machine gun.
Or whatever.
Sure as hell isn't an M16. I put that laser sight
machine
right
gun.
on his heart and opened up and just, then I called in the airstrike.
Whatever. He took his machine gun and shot him through the door and killed him with the bayonet stuck in his arm.
Wow. What barbershop are you going to, Phil?
It's the one at the VA, just a bunch of grizzled old veterans with scars.
Next topic.
Mailbag.
2 weeks ago, we talked about that VRX Mach 4 racing simulator thing.
Oh, yeah, the $30,000.
The Forza system. They actually sent us a press release
Really?
Just personally?
to the video game show.
Oh, that's awesome.
It basically was just summing up what I had said in the show, what the thing had, and they sent some pictures along and everything, and they didn't offer any demo units, unfortunately, so...
I'm shocked.
I can't believe somebody was listening.
Yeah, neither
This
can
is-
I.
But this is the kind of companies that listen to us.
And that was Video Game Show episode number 73 for Sunday, January 20th, 2008. Any ham sandwiches or Cheddar Dream Pies to the world, gentlemen?
Cheddar Dream Pie to Skype for sucking.
Cheddar Dream to all customers of Time Warner as well. Or at least I'm going to put one in the fridge for you because you're going to need it.
Ham sandwich to Doc and the crew over at Sarcastic Gamer from the hysterical promo from last week's episode. Thank you very much, guys.
And as always, send your comments, questions, queries, or concerns to the mailbag at videogameshow.org, Skype us at videogameshow, or call us at 320-300-GAME. That is a standard long-distance call, and all normal fees apply. And that's a wrap. Good night. And he should be here.
Hello, Tom.
Hello.
Tom, you there?
Sorry about that. Yeah.
Tom, you there?
Yes. Hello.
I can't hear him. Can you hear him?
No, I can't hear him at all. Tom, say something.
Bob, is that you?
Something. Hello.
Drop him and call
Hello?
him again.
Hello. That's so funny, guys.
It is. I'm laughing my hats off.
I'm pushing the big blue button. I'm like, big blue button, push.
Push it harder.